Hello, hello. My name is Keeana Saxon, the CEO and founder of Kadogo Productions, and I am here with the illustrious activity author Sheryl. Sheryl, can you give your last name and I welcome you to the space, and I'm so happy that you're here.
Oh, hi. Yes, I am Sheryl Smiley-Oliphant, but I am best known as the activity author. So you guys can just call me that. And yeah, I'm an educator, teacher, author, of course, and a creative arts and crafts guru, if you must.
I love the guru. So as you know, I go to YouTube and I try to find the creators that I really love. When I came across your channel, I was I was like, can I do these activities? I know I'm not a kid, but I want to do these activities. And my daughter, who is 6, she implored me that we do a couple of these activities too. So what I said was, all right, I will get in touch with Sheryl and we will do these activities together. Because honey, I am not a craft person. Any line that should be drawn straight. I think I missed that class in kindergarten. I can't do it. That is not my talent. So I applaud you for being able to do these creative activities. They look so cute and adorable. And how did you even discover this talent?
So I am a theater teacher. So being a theater teacher, I teach anywhere from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. My focus is middle school, has been for the last 10 years, has been middle school. So in middle school, we would do like productions, like Disney Junior productions or, school productions, musicals, things like that. So we always had a budget. So I always tried to figure out a way to stay within the budget without, going over. So the best way to do that is to basically get creative, meaning instead of going out to buy things, we make things. So at my school, I taught my students how to pretty much make any prop out of any household item. I would tell them, hey guys, don't throw away your paper towel rolls. When you run out of paper tissue, just bring that into school. Any tissue boxes, bring that in. Amazon boxes, bring that in. And the kids would start bringing things in and we would have a pile of like recyclables. That's what it looked like. Yeah. So we would take those recyclables and we will turn them into like props for the stage. We've made like castles on stage. We've made hand props, you name it, canes, brooms, phones, like all types of things. So that's really when I got my niche to start in it. So I've been doing that for theater for the longest. And then when I became an author, I wrote 2 children's books. And what I thought was, okay, I wrote the children's books, but what next? Like I need something else to give my community because I just want to get back to the community. And I've always loved families bonding together. So my thing was, okay, how do families bond together? They play games, they do activities, they craft. So then I thought, if I'm an author, I can teach people how to do the crafts and the projects that we do, how we make things out of scratch. And then I could tie it in with my books. And that is how I became the activity author. So I started a YouTube channel where I have over 150 easy arts and crafts that kids can create at home with their parents. And I just try to make it fun, upbeat, step by step, and I make it super duper easy. And that's kind of how I got started on this journey and where I am today.
That is awesome. And when did you start your channel?
I started during the pandemic, believe it or not, because that's when I thought, you know what, everybody's stuck in the house. We were in lockdown for like a year or so. And I was like, okay, what can people do at home where they don't have to leave? They don't have to go buy anything. And I was like, oh, we can make crafts out of household items. So I started during 2020, a little bit after the lockdown. I think my first video was published either May 2020. So I would say, yeah, my channel has been up for a year now. And yeah, it's pretty growing. It's growing every day.
That is exactly, this is the wonder and of what the byproduct of the pandemic brought. I was just saying to someone else earlier today, the pandemic made Black educators and parents sit down and look around and say, oh no, there is a hole that I can fill. And these are holes that all of us have recognized for years now. Mm-hmm. But when we actually had the time, because we weren't doing 50 million different things, we gave our time to fill some of that gap. Now the gap, of course, is still tremendously wide, and we have so much work to do to create the kind of content that we want our children to watch. But I really do thank you for kind of answering that call, because this has been a consistent theme that as I've been doing these interviews with creators, is that I realized that you guys sat down and said, I have the time and I'm going to fill it by exercising my talent and giving it to the world. And so it's brilliant. And I appreciate you for it.
Thank you.
The purpose of Kidogo is that we want to get all of you guys together on one platform. And so you're now part of the Kidogo family. Your page is going to appear on kidogo.tv. So this interview, it will appear right at the top. And then we'll have your upload of all of those wonderful videos. And this is my way of adding to, the world, is being able to say, I want a safe place for children to be able to watch content where Black educators and Black children are getting together and we're doing wholesome activities. You as a teacher, you have been able to see the beauty and also the other side of when we are not being filled, when we are not getting what you need. Can you speak a little bit to the issues that you see and how, we as creators can address it?
Yes, definitely. Of course. Well, one issue I could tell you from my last year coming out of the school year last year was just kids being addicted to technology. I mean, technology is great, but you got to have a divide where you put it away and you just take in the world around you. Middle school, of course, they're going through all this pre-adolescent stuff and their life is changing, and it seems like the middle schoolers have, well, I guess most grades, high school too, and elementary as well. But middle school in particular, I noticed they just have such an addiction to their phones. Even as a teacher, I would say, put your phones away, take your earbuds out, take your headphones off. And they get off the games because, they have computers too. So they'll be on the computers playing games, and they just their attention spans are so short because of it, because they just want things now and quickly, and they don't have that patience. So I say the over obsessive amount of technology is a problem. Patience, like I said, having patience and just not wanting everything to come so quickly. Another thing is bonding and talking to family members, because a lot of the times I have parents, I'll call them and I'll say, hey, we're doing, this production Friday. Are you coming? My kid didn't tell me that, because they won't talk to their kids, or either their kids they'll say, how was school and they'll say, great. They'll just, one word answer. But that communication back and forth with the kids, or even the parents, they're stuck at work all the time, because I know everybody's hustling and bustling and trying to make a dollar, but it just seems like sometimes, just taking an hour at dinner to get off the device, take the devices. No one's on any phones. Everybody's just in the moment, present and talking to each other. That is another need I see in the community. So yeah, that's another reason why I just want to have my channel just kind of force people, even if it could be for 30 minutes, just to do something together, because you will be surprised with that 30 minutes child parent bonding would do to the kids in school. It would really, it boosts confidence. It helps them be assertive and just in the moment. And versus if they see parents on the phone all the time, just on the phone, right? They're going to start picking up that habit too. And they're just not going to be in, the present. So those are just some things I've noticed that, we could do better as far as, helping the kids out, and of course myself included. I'm not perfect. Yeah, those are some needs I definitely noticed.
No, I completely understand that. This is one of the reasons why, I want to be able to, build this site so that it's not just material that you're consuming and just sitting there and passively watching.
Yes.
But that we also create material that you interact with. And so that was one of the reasons why I was so excited to see your channel yet again, because you're encouraging, the student to use their hands and to get in there and be a little bit more tactile or kinesthetic. And so those are always things we want to be able to encourage students to have a balance. And one of the things that I want to do is not just balance for the sake of like, you know, Zen, but to be able to find a spark. And that's what I think our role as parents and as educators is, to be able to help guide the child so that they can find that thing that makes them go, ah, you know, that makes them like really kind of get excited. Yes. And so, you know, you and I talked about this before we entered the studio. Both of us are piano teachers. Yes. And so don't you love that moment when a student is sitting there and at first they're not getting it. I mean, they're struggling, and then something just clicks. Yeah. Yeah, I really love that.
Yeah, that light bulb. Yeah, it's like electricity going through the body. Like, oh, you know, you just see them brighten up. Yeah, I love that.
Exactly. Yeah, so Sheryl, let's just back up just 1 minute, and I can talk a mile a minute, and then, you know, but I want people to get to know like who you are. So just give, you know, like, where are you from, and just, you know, you talked about your theater background, but they have to know, like, you have so many other talents.
Okay, sure. So I was born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. Lived there all my life. And then when I turned 18, of course, I graduated. I moved to college, and I went to school at North Carolina A&T in Greensboro, North Carolina. I got my theater, my professional theater degree from there. And then after I graduated college, I moved to Charlotte, where I am currently residing. And I attended UNC Charlotte, and it's I got my master's in theater education there. And then that's when I started teaching here at CMS. So I taught elementary school, middle school, and high school. Yeah, I taught all grades. Wow. Yeah, not at the same time, but I taught, you know, I moved throughout my 10 years of teaching. So I was a teacher for 10 years. And I recently pulled out of the classroom this year because I want to focus more on writing my children's books, which I have 2. And they are called, my first book, my most popular book, is called My Daddy Doesn't Need a Cape.
Yes.
That's this one. And I wrote this to highlight all the fathers, especially Black fathers, because this one was made when, I don't know, you would probably remember when the whole George Floyd Black Lives Matter was going on. Yeah, I wanted to show Black men in a positive light, you know, so I thought, what better way than to show a father? And then another funny story, if you want to hear it really quickly on this.
Yes.
This one came about after I gave birth to my daughter in the car. My husband actually helped me give birth in the car. We didn't make it. So right outside the hospital at the drop off, we had my second daughter. Yeah, that's what inspired me to make this book, because I said, wow, this man is a superhero and he needs to be celebrated. He does. My daughter, which is this character right here, my daughter Kimberly, I watched how she just adored him, and everything was like perfect with like, oh my God, my daddy can do this, my daddy can do that, my daddy can do. And I said, you know what, that'll be a funny story. So that's how this book came about.
That is brilliant. I love how, like, you know, stories are built on our real lives. And so your husband is a superhero. That is wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. And both of my books are family books, because the New Baby Here came right after that. And this one was I wrote this book because I didn't see a lot of books with children of color that got kids ready for being a big sibling. My daughter, you know, she was 18 months. This is her character. She was 18 months when I conceived my second daughter, and I just wanted to explain to her, because, you know, she was still fairly new. She just turned 1. She was 1.5, I believe, and I was trying to explain to her, like, okay, mommy's going through some changes. You might see her belly get a little bigger, but she's okay. And then you're going to have another person here in this house. So that is why I brought this book about. And really the funny thing about this book, like I said, I base my books on my real life experiences. So like, if you look in this book, you'll see that the daddy is eating a huge stack of pancakes, for example, right? My husband does that. He loves going to IHOP to get the all-you-can-eat pancakes, and he will put it down. I don't know where he puts it, but he puts it somewhere. And then, remember I told you about having the baby in the car? I put that in my book.
Oh, my gosh.
The nurses and the daddy behind me, and the car back there at the drop-off.
I love it.
Yeah, so my books are based on their family books. I want to keep that genre of having Black family books and basically showing different scenarios and different life experiences, you know? So I'm excited though, because I think my third book is definitely going to have to be a crafting book because everybody's telling me that. They're like, you have to do a crafting book.
Yes, I concur.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I love to do with creators is be able to like put together live events. And so I am happy to announce, that on September 10th, we are going to have the activity author Sheryl Smiley-Oliphant to the Kidogo virtual stage, and we are going to read My Daddy Doesn't Need a Cape, and we are going to do a crafting activity together. Yeah. I am so excited. I am going to declare that I will try to do this craft activity. I may or may not show the final product depending on how it comes out.
You got to, man. They're all art is at the eye of the beholder. Okay, so
yeah. Well, I know my daughter and I are going to have lots of fun doing this live event with you. And as I said, just tickled pink that you are with us. And I am seeing in the future that there are going to be other live events where we will read a book and we will do a live activity. Sheryl, it was so nice to meet you and to chat with you. One thing that I love about the virtual space is that we can meet people. I'm here in Boston, Massachusetts. There she is in North Carolina and Charlotte. I'll have to say, my nephew and two of my nieces, my nephew went to UNC. Mm-hmm. And my one niece went to Winston-Salem and another went to North Carolina A&T. So we are all down there. We are definitely all down there. And it's a pleasure. It's really a pleasure to meet you. September 10th. This is where we're going to, we will send out the link to the actual event. We'll send out a link to buy Sheryl's book beforehand. And we'll send out a list of very simple around the house materials and for the craft project. And we will hope to see you there.
Love it.
All right, Sheryl, I will talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.